One woman declared the ordinance, quote, absolutely unconstitutional.
You guys are violating federal law. Do you get that?
Hello and welcome to this CCB video blog. Now if you're watching this today, the day I uploaded it, Happy New Year! If you're watching this a little later on, happy belated New Year! Now we finally did it. We made it through the worst year ever. It's now 2021. We all know what happened this year. It was a bad year. It was the first time anything like that happened in our lifetime. I mean, you got to admit what it did to people's lives, how it put us on hold, the people that died from it. I mean, it was something I don't think we've ever experienced here in the United States. But then I realized, oh yes, we did have something like this in 1918. It was that Spanish one. Now, I'm pretty sure back in 1918, I mean, they were a lot less advanced. It had to be a lot worse. And I couldn't imagine going through that after what we went through here in 2020. I mean, we have cell phones now. We have like so much advanced stuff. Our hospitals are so advanced. I mean, I could just imagine what it was like in 1918. But then I heard this.
I think when history looks back on it, it'll be comparable to what we saw in 1918.
I thought, okay, so what just happened to us in 2020 was as bad or even worse than what happened in 1918? I thought for sure, back then they weren't as advanced. I was sure that it was, it was more devastating and they handled it completely, totally differently. I mean, that is over 100 years ago. I mean, that was like World War I, the way people acted, our mentalities and everything as Americans back then. Totally different than how we are now in 2021 or 2020. But then I started doing some research, finding videos and stuff about how the Spanish one went about and just how the whole thing happened and how it went about its business. Because, well, I have first-hand experience right now because we just went through that. We just went through that in 2020. But what I found out is, and that's kind of why I titled this video what I did, there were some really weird similarities. I mean, well, all right, here's what I found out.
Woodrow Wilson, during World War I, tried to minimize the Spanish flu epidemic.
Woodrow Wilson pretended it wasn't happening, did not let people know how to protect themselves.
Woodrow Wilson encouraged public events. He told mayors and governors to have military parades.
You had national public health leaders saying such things as, this is ordinary influenza by another name.
The Surgeon General said, if proper precautions are taken, you have no cause for alarm.
Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, Mr. Trump has downplayed the severity of the problem as cases surge around the country.
The president's effectively discarding the existing advice from his government, his own public health experts.
There's no reason to panic at all. It's going to disappear. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
Pandemic spread benefited from misinformation.
People began blaming the Germans, claiming they were spreading poison clouds or that Bayer, which was a German-owned company, had infected their aspirin.
Snake oil salesmen had a field day. Vicks VapoRub also advertised itself as a remedy for the flu, claiming to stimulate the mucous membrane to throw off the germs.
There were plenty of ads touting medicines, tablets, and the use of disinfectants.
As the coronavirus continues to spread worldwide, the misinformation is spreading too.
Donald Trump is pushing the debunked conspiracy that coronavirus was man-made in a lab in Wuhan, China.
The president offers snake oil treatments that have the potential to do more harm than good.
The president suggested Americans could inject themselves with disinfectants to ward off COVID-19.
The disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute.
Cities recommended face masks, though many residents didn't take that suggestion seriously. A mask mandate followed, but not everyone complied. One woman declared the ordinance, quote, absolutely unconstitutional.
The anti-mask sentiment actually coalesced into something organized. Thousands protested mandatory masking measures.
Despite the alarming spike, many people still refuse to wear masks.
Masks are mandated here. Not everyone likes the rule. You guys are violating federal law. Do you get that?
They say that it interferes with their personal liberty and it's unconstitutional.
Are you going to allow the government to tell you you have to wear a mask?
Back Backlash from business owners pressured cities to reopen. As cities eased guidelines, some were hit with a second wave of the flu.
Denver reopens on November 10th. Thousands flock to the streets for an Armistice Day celebration as the death toll rises again.
In San Francisco, cases went almost down to zero. Let's open up the city. Let's have a great big parade. Because of that event, 2 months later, the great influenza came back roaring.
See, to me, that is sort of, it just kind of really blew me away. I mean, all the stuff that's happened this year with all the, you know, the 5G and the Lysol and all that different stuff. And then to find out, over 100 years ago, it was the same way. We as Americans thought the same exact way. I mean, no wonder right now at this point, we're the worst country and having the worst experience with this little microscopic thing that's killing us. We've learned nothing. I mean, it did it to us once as a country over 100 years ago. And you saw the ending of it. What happened when they opened everything back up because they figured it was gone. We got it down to almost zero in some places. It's gone. And then, well, you can see that that's what's happening right now. It'd been so long, everyone was getting antsy. Suddenly we're getting to these holidays. You know, we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas. It's gone. We can all take off our masks. We can all go get together. We can all hang out together because it's pretty much over. And now I'm on lockdown again in California. And it's starting to be that way in a lot of places. I thought for sure there'd be a difference in Americans and our thought process between 1918 and 2020. But evidently, we Americans still act the same way. We might have, you know, like I said, the fancy cell phones and Xboxes and fancier cars and cars that don't even use gas. But we still have the same mentality that a little thing that we can't even see isn't going to hurt us. And I just thought it'd be really funny. Say somebody was able to go into the future from 1918. And they get here and they go, wow, you guys just kind of went through the same thing we did in 1918. How did you get rid of it? Did you have like nostril lasers or little like nanobots that went in and like fought it in your body? And we look at them and go, no, we wore a mask. And they're like, masks are still around? We're like, yeah, masks. I mean, ours are a little fancier now. Some of them you can have cool writing on them and stuff. And, you know, you guys just had those cotton white ones. Ours are blue now. So there you go, guys. I just had to do this. Once I learned that, I was kind of like, wow, I did not expect that. I thought for sure the 1918 thing would have been way worse than 2020. But like I said in the title, evidently us as Americans have not changed. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please join us for our next CCB video blog.
That was terrific!
Great! Yeah!
Fantastic!
Fantastic! Yeah, it's really great!
Really pisky, yeah.